This podcast of The Family Circuit, a new narrative of American domesticity, is supported by Mr. Hands, the all-in-one housewife helper that makes it easy to wash, scrub, and polish. With cutting-edge technology, durable construction, and sterilization mechanisms, you can generate electricity while cleaning in minutes. For a free trial, visit mrhands.biz/Family Circuit.
Hey everybody, Ivan Gass here. You might have seen this on the news recently, that the Energy of Things catalog, a local government-run resource in the town of Newton, South Iota, that sells and promotes personal energy harvesting tools, tips, and tricks, will be transitioned into a nationally supported program in the upcoming months. Now, the catalog was originally only intended to be a temporary service, just for the residents of Newton. As I'm assuming most listeners know, and I'll dive into more detail later, Newton is a sustainable test city, where all citizens are required to produce all the energy they desire to consume. And the Energy of Things catalog contains all sorts of products, advice, resources, you name it, to help individuals generate their own electricity. Today on our program, in an episode titled, You Get What You Give, we're going to uncover the political origins of the catalog, but perhaps more importantly, the potential implications of this self-sufficient lifestyle. In Act 1, I'll give the history of Newton. In Act 2, I'll introduce the Power family. And in Act 3, well, the Power family will invite us into a day in their lives. From WB Clean Umyo, it's the Family Circuit, distributed by Private Recordings International. I'm Ivan Gass. Stay with us.
Millions of women like yourself suffer from repetitive hand jobs that leave you exhausted and without power. Cleaning a dirty home is a major culprit, stripping you of personal time that could be used generating electricity.
When do I have time to generate electricity?
Introducing Mr. Hands, the comfortable daytime companions that take full advantage of your every move and position. Ergonomically designed and fit to effectively hug your every curve, Mr. Hands feature cutting-edge technology, empowering you to harvest energy from surface-to-surface contact, vigorous friction, heavy shaking, or just holding on tight. While most housewives run in place or put on weight to generate electricity, you're in good shape. Mr. Hands makes multitasking easy. Utilizing your everyday routines and gestures to keep your favorite devices pinging, vibrating, and providing endless entertainment. Shop online and order your Mr. Hands right now!
Act 1. Newton, South Iota. I think we can all agree that the Clean Party's surge to power 2 years ago during the 2016 free electrons was the most friction the nation had experienced in decades. After the declaration of climate change as fact, which was definitely an inconvenient truth, public opinion was no doubt jolted into waves of alternating currents. This extreme polarity and variable resistance could only be bridged by the Clean Party, with their none-of-the-above energy policy. This subtle flip switched the focus from developing every source of American-made energy onto sourcing every energy made by Americans.
Good evening, citizens. Now, one of the biggest factors to bringing more jobs back is our commitment to energy made by Americans. The none-of-the-above strategy is an obvious renewable energy solution that will create ampere work for citizens.
Furthermore, the Clean Party's extensive propaganda campaign was quite successful at amplifying a spike in volts, featuring slogans like, "Fixing tomorrow today. The power of you.
Why wait? Mitigate.
Following the president's induction into office, he appointed former Senator Dick Tater to create and develop the test city Newton, located in South Iota, to be the first fully self-sufficient master-planned community. Established under the banner of the New Suburbanism Design Movement and administered by the Smarter Home and Grid Association, Newton follows the guiding principles of environmentalism, smart city growth, and intelligent home automation, placing an unprecedented focus to a return to the American dream of social mobility through hard work. Literally.
Newtown will utilize the everyday effort of its own inhabitants as a clean, reliable, and efficient source of energy. Social mobility, or urban sprawl, will consequently be achievable for all. Moving forward, I hereby appoint former Senator Dick Tater, esteemed nationally for his efficiency and capacity, to preside over the Smarter Home and Grid, also called SHAG, Association. SHAG strives for Newtown to be a positive fusion of individual energy production and consumption. For I have a vision of Newtown as a powerful community, a leading example for the nation. Continuous effort is the key to unlocking this potential energy. For without energy, there is no power. To sustain that vision, we have SHAG. And together, with your input and helping hands, we can give birth to a new era.
Sounds pretty great, right? A clean, self-sufficient, sustainable city with an abundance of work. What more could you ask for? And from here, it's not hard to imagine how the Energy of Things catalog fits into the Newton utopia. Not long after the creation of SHAG, their Innovation and Technology Office launched the catalog as an all-encompassing tool for the residents of Newton to make this abundance of work easy, accessible, even enjoyable. But how do we ever really know what a place, a service, a paradigm is like, especially before it goes national, without stepping into the shoes of those walking the walk and living the dream?
Millions of women like yourself suffer from repetitive hand jobs that leave you exhausted and without power. Cleaning a dirty home is a major culprit, stripping you of personal time that could be used generating electricity.
When do I have time to generate electricity?
Introducing Mr. Hands, the comfortable daytime companions that take full advantage of your every move and position. Ergonomically designed and fit to effectively hug your every curve, Mr. Hands feature cutting-edge technology, empowering you to harvest energy from surface-to-surface contact, vigorous friction, heavy shaking, or just holding on tight. While most housewives run in place or put on weight to generate electricity, you're in good shape. Mr. Hands makes multitasking easy. Utilizing your everyday routines and gestures to keep your favorite devices pinging, vibrating, and providing endless entertainment. Shop online and order your Mr. Hands right now.
Act 2. The Power Family. When Otto and Lotta Power heard about Newton in early 2016, they jumped at the opportunity for their family to take part in the sustainability revolution. Though moving their two children in the heart of adolescence, Robin Power, 15 years old at the time, and Max Power, only 10, wasn't an easy decision or transition for the family. But Otto was already well acquainted with the trials and tribulations of moving. Born in 1975 in a small coastal city, to a military family of 8, Otto's childhood was nothing short of interesting.
My father often said things like, all you need is less, or familiarity breeds contempt, and I'm not convinced I even now know what he was talking about, but it definitely impacted my childhood.
And by impacting his childhood, he probably actually means instilling a creepy sense of personal failure. Otto often felt lost and out of place as his family frequently relocated from country to country due to his father's career. His own sensitivity to never fitting in eventually translated into placing extreme value in imperfections and defects, since, well, that's how he viewed himself.
I guess you could call it a form of self-therapy, a way to distract myself. I spent a significant portion of middle school meticulously mending well-worn clothing from mismatched fabrics. It wasn't long before I earned myself some nicknames at school like Patch and Polka.
Despite some childhood setbacks, he eventually received a BS in imaginative engineering before landing a highly coveted job in Silicon Valley as a creative technologist for a startup that was developing an infant gene therapy application called Parental Precision. Sponsored by toy manufacturers and pharmaceuticals, Otto's specific role in the venture was coding an algorithm for a prenatal personality generator to be used by expecting parents during their first trimester. Since this particular component of the service emphasized exactitude with the chosen genetic manipulations, Otto's spontaneous decision late one night to incorporate a random quirk generator as a hidden feature was not appreciated. Initially unnoticed for over a year, a $1 billion class action lawsuit eventually hit the startup as the first generation of modified babies began speaking with incompatible yet distinguishable regional accents.
What do you twos want from the packy? A handle, 30 rack what?
He was immediately fired without severance pay.
It was pretty rough after that. I didn't know if anyone would hire me, and I thought I was just putting the creative in creative technologist. Luckily though, after a pretty shitty year, a former intern of my dad set me up with a job as a senior incident designer at the Conduct Laboratory, a government consultancy for the Behavioral Development Bureau. Essentially, I designed political scandals to generate publicity.
And it's quite perfect, actually. A childhood spent searching for the positives in things different and defected, now manifested in exposing flaws and designing affairs, all for positive publicity, because, of course, all publicity is good publicity.
I like to say there are no such things as mistakes, only happy little accidents.
Which is exactly how he responded when his 17-year-old daughter, Robin, told her parents she was pregnant last year. His wife, Lotta, though, was less than thrilled. As a typical millennial, Lotta Power has always been very concerned with opinions and approval of others. A teen pregnancy in the family was not a favorable situation. But Lotta views life as a team sport, her family playing first string, and a baby was a promising addition to the lineup. The family, though, questioned the sincerity and Lotta's ultimate acceptance. For ever since a 23andMe genetic test in her late 20s informed her she was 4.5% Nigerian, her resulting identity crisis was questionably self-medicated with an obsession for conspiracy theories and only speaking in the third person. As a result, her children were even more independent than their fellow members of Generation Z. In addition to being a new mom, Robin founded and maintained the highly successful Suburban Dictionary, while 12-year-old brother Max was already a globally renowned ambient DJ, famous for tracks like Peeing Go Lightly and Thunder Down Under.
I also like to say, if you do not enter the tiger's cave, you will not catch its cub.
I think it's safe to say all families have their own histories and motivations, leading up to and impacting both the big and little decisions in life. And perhaps at the end of the day, just like the Power family, we are all a form of dysfunctionally family of sorts, and our somehow successful ability to still navigate the world around us, often creating chaos along the way, is what in fact makes us normal.
Millions of women like yourself suffer from repetitive hand jobs that leave you exhausted and without power. Cleaning a dirty home is a major culprit, stripping you of personal time that could be used generating electricity.
When do I have time to generate electricity?
Introducing Mr. Hands, the comfortable daytime companions that take full advantage of your every move and position. Ergonomically designed and fit to effectively hug your every curve, Mr. Hands feature cutting-edge technology, empowering you to harvest energy from surface-to-surface contact, vigorous friction, heavy shaking, or just holding on tight. While most housewives run in place or put on weight to generate electricity, you're in good shape. Mr. Hands makes multitasking easy. Utilizing your everyday routines and gestures to keep your favorite devices pinging, vibrating, and providing endless entertainment. Shop online and order your Mr. Hands right now.
Act 3. Actions and Reactions.
I made the mistake of leaving the energy bill from Shag Power out on the table.
SHAG's Office of Enforcement and Oversight, or SHAG Power, distributes a weekly power bill to all residents. In conjunction with providing information on individual family member consumption, the bill also displays the top neighborhood consumers and producers of energy, in an effort to generate healthy competition and conspicuous production.
Lotta is very competitive and often overreacts, so when she saw that we weren't even ranked on the production list, she took matters into her own hands, and unfortunately also tried to teach Max a lesson.
Also delivered weekly, though by SHAG's Office of Individual and Family Affairs, is the SHAG Home Brochure, a personalized service that, through the close monitoring of every home environment, can provide detailed recommendations on energy harvesting products and activities to pursue in order to increase at-home energy production. In addition, the brochure highlights and provides relevant tips and tricks on a product already owned by the family. In this instance, the SHAG carpet footprint purchased by the Power family last week. And all these referenced and suggested products are all available for purchase in the Energy of Things catalog, produced by the Office of Innovation and Technology, or SHAGIT.
She hid his headphones. I'm not actually sure where, since he still hasn't found them. And while he was running around wild searching for them, poor man is pretty upset. He had a great idea this morning for his next recording. He did actually generate quite a lot of electricity.
But also in his frenzy, Max unfortunately woke sleeping Minnie, Robin's daughter, who was sucking on the Pacify Her, an energy harvesting pacifier, which was charging Robin's cell phone. And as Minnie started crying in response to the ruckus, Robin received a new submission to Suburban Dictionary. Though as the Pacify Her fell to the floor, Robin's phone instantly died and she was unable to monitor the incoming proposal. But like any great businesswoman, or a desperate teenager, her instincts prevailed and she began sucking on the Pacify Her herself.
I mean, honestly, can you blame what I did? I really needed to watch the morning news, but Lotta had disconnected the television from the central energy system until the SHAG carpet could harvest a high enough quota to get us on next week's ranking. And looking at Robin ridiculously sucking on the damn Pacify Her, I could resist the opportunity to Instagram it. See, I knew she'd get upset at me, but since she was wearing the temper trap, her anger could and would generate enough electricity to power the TV.
What Otto didn't anticipate, though, was that during Robin's resulting tantrum, as she heated up both figuratively and literally, she would then turn the air conditioning on high, and it wasn't disconnected from the central energy system, thus consequently canceling out all energy produced by Max on the SHAG carpet, leaving the Power family powerless. Which leaves me to wonder, as the Energy of Things catalog is transitioned into a federal program in the coming months, what will you do? How will you act? What if you were required to produce all of the energy you desired to consume?